trained all summer for the squash season. My youngest of 5 is in grade 9, so I figured he's going to be pretty busy with his own sport, so I thought I'd get back into competitive squash. And this was the early bird tournament. I remember just standing in the court waiting for a serve, and the score is 5-3 for me, and I'm thinking I better close the door on this and push. And then the next thing I said was to the paramedic 10 minutes later. I asked him what the score was.
I'm the tournament director, and I was sitting at the desk recording some scores.
I came to watch my husband play squash. We were in his second game, and he was playing a gentleman named Steve.
I just served to him, and he just basically stood up with a blank look on his face and just fell right down on the squash court.
Immediately, my husband rushed to him.
He was still sort of gasping for air, so it sort of seemed like he was maybe he was having a seizure or something. So I wasn't sure. I couldn't get a pulse. At that point, he's starting to turn blue. So we started doing CPR.
I volunteered to do the breaths, and my husband was doing the compressions. So my husband realized that the breaths were not going in. He couldn't see his chest rising. So he asked me to tilt his head back further.
Mike and his wife were already doing CPR, and I instantly got on the phone with 911. And when I was on the phone, the AED device was brought over.
And the machine analyzed. At that point, I guess I expected it to say, "Oh, he's just normal heart rate. Just you guys just stop what you're doing, and he's just gonna wake up in a few minutes." But and then it said shock recommended.
When it said shock advised, that was kind of when it was. It kind of really hit you. You're like, something serious is going on here.
And that was when I was like, wow, this guy's here on the squash court and he's dying in front of me.
The machine shocking him, you kind of realize the gravity and what you're doing.
I mean, that was just a crazy experience, just to see his arms went straight out, and it was just really, really intense.
Every doctor I've met in the last 10 weeks since the incident, when they read the story on my file or I tell them some of the details, their first answer is, "You're very lucky." Other comments from doctors were, this kind of a save where I have no deficiencies, everything's great, both physically and mentally. They say only happens if you collapse in the emergency ward in a hospital with professionals around. Now, the doctors said it was like a military operation, how efficiently everyone acted and performed in saving my life.
The training that we received from Action First Aid was very beneficial. It definitely gave us knowledge of how the device works, and definitely gave us more confidence that when the situation happened, that I felt more confident of my abilities and how to somewhat stay as calm as I could.
The person you're helping is going to die. Their only chance, and it's a very slim chance, is that you intervene.
I guess the machine also gives you that confidence that, hey, this is really happening and you got to keep going with this.
Ultimately, it was the AED that helped us through the CPR, kept us on pace, and was able to shock Steve and save his life.
I would say that if you want to protect your employees and anybody off the street, I would invest in one.
Community saves are rare because there's not enough AED machines around. Once an AED machine is introduced in that first 10 minutes, the chances of a save, go up enormously. So the fact that I had CPR was wonderful for 5 or 6 minutes, but the fact that the AED machine was deployed in minute 6, that's what saved my life. People ask me if my outlook has changed, and kind of oddly, I just want to get back to work. I want to get back to playing squash. Just life as normal would be good.